Hello, my babies. Welcome back to another Modern League. This week we're returning to Affinity. We're still playing a budget version of the deck without Urza Sagas, but we're playing a more normie list with Jegantha and Galvblast since it's Christmas and Jegantha is reindeer adjacent. The deck list is on the screen now and in the description below, and I'll see you in the video. Alright, round one of budget is at Affinity. Declaring Jegantha as our companion, because we are a dirty companion player now. I'm at least trying it out. I've tried out Jegantha in, I think it's one league and then a handful of practice games before that too already. And I've put it in my hand, but I've yet to actually cast it, so I'm not sure if I want to keep it in the sideboard. Our opponent's playing a Yorion deck. Let's see, do we want to keep this? We have a Galvblast that we can't cast. We have a Slow Frogmite and a Cranial Plating. But if we get like a Thoughtcast or something, we can play it pretty easily. I think we got a mulligan. I don't think this is going to be good enough against Yorion shenanigans. Okay, this hand is significantly faster. We definitely keep these three. Do I want to get rid of a Mirror Enforcer or a Cranial Plating? I think I'd rather get rid of a Mirror Enforcer. Yeah. Let's see what happens. Opponent plays Flagstones. Interesting. We draw a Thoughtcast. That's good. Alright, let's play Springleaf Drum, Ornithopter, Frogmite. Hope our opponent doesn't Prismatic End or Springleaf Drum immediately, so we can at least get a Thoughtcast out of it. We pass the turn. Opponent, what you got? I wonder if this is an 80 card version of Smallpox or something. Opponent cycles Street Wraith, plays a Forest. What are they playing? Edge of Autumn. What is this? Gets a Plains. Alright. I have no idea what this combination of cards is. It's very strange. They have a lot of things with cycling. Maybe they're playing like an Astral Drift deck. But either way, this is very strange. Let's see. I think we lead on a Thoughtcast. Cast a Frogmite. Cast a Sojourner's Companion. Attack for 2. Next turn we can play Cranial Plating and equip it. So hopefully we get at least a chunk of damage in with that before he gets removed some way or another. Opponent goes to 16, we pass. Okay. I'm very curious what our opponent's playing. Current theory is Astral Drift, but I haven't seen an Astral Drift deck since Modern Horizons 1 came out and people were trying that card. I mean, the card's cool, but it seems odd, especially in current Modern. Opponent passes without doing anything. Okay. Let's play Darksteel Citadel, cast a Cranial Plating, equip up our Ornithopter. I assume they have some kind of removal this turn, because we're trying to hit him for a bunch. Trying to hit him for lethal, actually. So we attack for 16. Opponent has a Solitude. Gets our Ornithopter, that's fine. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that this is an Astral Drift deck. Luckily they didn't have an Astral Drift to cycle or a Ephemerate to cast on their Solitude, but we will see.
Opponent still needs removal, and they didn't have a land drop last turn either. What they exile with their Solitude, that might give us some more information. They exiled a second Solitude. Okay. Opponent plays a Birds of Paradise. We draw a Galv Blast. Well, that should make that easy enough. Okay. Let's attack. And see if our opponent has anything to stop this. Wonderful. All right. Well, we have a distressing lack of information, but I have a strong hunch that I'm right about what they're playing. Because I really don't know why you'd be playing Edge of Autumn and Street Wraith in this deck otherwise. So let's bring in Edge Champion, because that seems pretty decent at the very least. Let's bring in... Pithing Needle doesn't necessarily seem good. Wear Tear might be useful. Tormod's Crypt doesn't seem great. I was planning on taking out Galv Blast, but then we saw Birds of Paradise right at the end there, so it makes me think they have other mana dorks too. We didn't get a lot of information. Let's cut a Nettle Cyst and a Mirror Enforcer. I'm tempted to bring in some amount of Metallic Rebuke since they're playing Yorion. Because counterspells are very good against Yorion since it costs so much mana and you can predict when it's coming down. So I think I cut at least one Welding Jar, maybe both Welding Jars, or maybe one and one Mirror Enforcer. I think that seems fine. They didn't see Emery, so I'll keep that. I'll try it like that for now. I might wind up adding in the third Metallic Rebuke depending on what we see this game. If we wind up losing. We will see, we will see. Declare Jegantha. I'm curious what the percentage of the time Jegantha actually being useful is worth it compared to losing a sideboard slot and then also letting your opponent know sort of what you're playing, because Jegantha is definitely less powerful than Yorion or Luris, where it doesn't just justify a deck by itself. No lands, we got a mulligan. So I'm not sure 100% that it's worth giving our opponent the information that we're essentially either playing this build of Affinity or a Tron deck. I think we keep this. Get rid of... I definitely want Thought Monitor. I think I get rid of Memnite? Maybe? Yeah, I think the plan is play Silver Bluff Bridge tapped. Hopefully don't have to use the mana for anything. Then cycle Sojourner's Companion if I don't have a third land drop or I don't use Galvanic Blast. Okay, why do I have a stop on upkeep? I'm gonna get rid of that. Because I want to play Edge Champion on turn 3, and then play Thought Monitor after that, I think. Opponent played a tapped Temple Garden. Not the scariest. And we drew a Cranial Plating. Okay. Hopefully we draw another land here. That would help a lot. Opponent plays a Wooded Foothills, cracks it. I think they're just playing Selesnya. Yeah, there's an Edge of Autumn again. So with them playing 80 cards, that means they're probably playing 4 of those. We draw Thoughtcast. Okay. I'm just going to pass the turn. Current plan is cycle Sojourner's Companion, get probably a Darksteel Citadel so I can play Edge Champion next turn. Wish we had Seed of the Synod in this format. That'd be fun. Astral Drift. Yep, I was right. I'm a genius. Okay. Well, you know what can keep hitting you despite Astral Drift is Edge Champion. So let's see if opponent has a way to deal with that. Cycle Sojourner's Companion, get Darksteel Citadel. Yep. Untap, draw a Silver Bluff Bridge. Okay. Well, let's play Darksteel Citadel. Let's play our Etch Champion. Etch Champion all the way. I'm curious if our opponent has a way to deal with that. They've got 80 cards in their deck, so they probably have at least something, but for sure Solitude and for sure Astral Drift don't deal with it. Opponent plays Edge of Autumn. That's fine. I'm curious if I should start drawing cards or if I should just go Cranial Plating and start hitting our opponent to try to get him out of here as fast as possible. Probably going on the aggro plan. Do I gamble with the Thoughtcast though first to see if I can get an untapped land? Opponent cycles Street Wraith. Plays a Tranquil Thicket. We draw a Springleaf Drum. Screw it, I'm just gonna get in. Our opponent has a very thick deck, so even if they have a random Wrath or something like that, we have to pressure them before that, and there's a decent chance that they just don't get to it in time if we kill them over the course of this turn and next turn. Yeah, Edge Champion's a big old boy. Opponent got something to cast, got an Acidic Slime, kills Cranial Plating. That's fine. So we can get in for 2 more with Edge Champion, put our opponent to 7. Then they're at a virtual 3 because of Galv Blast. I can go Springleaf Drum, Thought Monitor, Thoughtcasts. Ooh, I got a Memnite too. Okay. Let's do a bit of digging and see if we draw a Cranial Plating first, or another Galv Blast. Draw more Thoughtcasts. Okay. Not the worst. Opponent might have something. They're stopping as if they do. They did not do anything. Thought Monitor. Draw some cards. Thought Cast again. Draw some more cards. Springleaf Drum. Oh my god. I think I just leave this Thought Monitor in case I... Yeah, I think I'm going to leave this Thought Monitor in case they actually do have a Wrath. So I can try to refuel. Attack for 2 with Etch Champion. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Forest. They need a Wrath. Or some other unforeseen way to deal with Etch Champion. They have an Eldritch Evolution. Okay. What do they got? Some way to gain life, maybe? Or get protection from something? Are they going to make me feel silly for not? Stonehorn Dignitary, what the fuck? Okay. No combat phase for me this next turn. If they go to Ephemerate this or something, I'm Galv Blasting the shit out of Stonehorn Dignitary. They put Yorion into hand. Okay. Well... do I risk them having an Edge of Autumn or Street Wraith in order to Galv Blast now, I wonder? I could also possibly draw a Galv Blast. I think I'll wait. I can just try to do it on my turn. Alright, cast Thought Monitor. Show me another Galv Blast. I request it. No second Galv Blast. Lame. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and hit Stonehorn Dignitary, see if they have a way to cycle without any mana, because it's more likely that they'll be able to save it if we do it in response to Yorion. Pauper, Staple, Stonehorn Dignitary. Opponent did have a Street Wraith. Goes down to 5. Annoying. Pass the turn. Alright, well. Let's see if we can get out of this. Opponent's at 5, so they're not in single Galv Blast range yet, but they're pretty close. If they fetch or something, or cycle another Street Wraith, we could draw a Galv Blast and get out of here. But they have at least one more Stonehorn Dignitary trigger because of Yorion. They probably have a bunch because of Astral Drift. Yup. Yeah, I'm definitely leaning towards bringing in the other Metallic Rebuke. Play a land, pass the turn. We just gotta wait and see if our opponent kills us. Eternal Witness gets, I assume, Edge of Autumn. Yeah. And now Yorion and Eternal Witness can loop. So we have to draw removal for Stonehorn Dignitary now, and they have to somehow not have a way to cycle. I guess they don't have a way to gain life yet, so we could still theoretically just draw the other Galv Blasts. So I guess I might as well wait. I'm not sure yet. I might fast forward. If so, I'll do it here. Okay, well, we did get to see 2 engineered explosives. I definitely want this Metallic Rebuke. Etch Champion was good. Wear and Tear seems right. Emery, I'm not certain of. Welding Jar. They mostly had exile stuff other than like engineered explosives. So I think I cut the Welding Jar for the Metallic Rebuke. I think, like, debatably I could bring in Tormod's Crypt to help deal with the help deal with the Eternal Witness loop. I'm not sure if that's worth it, though. I think I just want to counter the... I think I just want to either counter the Astral drift or kill them before it comes down. Alright, let's take the play. We'll declare Jegantha again, see if we wind up doing anything with it. I could have played Jegantha last game. It wouldn't have mattered, but still. This hand seems reasonably good. It can go turn 1 Frogmite. It can't play turn 1 Thought Monitor into Sojourner's Companion, unfortunately, but it can get dangerously close to that, so let's keep it. Darksteel Citadel, Springleaf draw. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm just gonna pass. I don't want to give them the option to Solitude one of our creatures to get us off of the affinity math that I want. Opponent plays Forest, Birds of Paradise. Okay. Untap. Other Thought Monitor. Okay. Frogmite. If we get a free artifact off of this or a land, we can keep going. Come on, good stuff. That is good stuff. It's not good stuff for this turn, but it's good stuff for tomorrow. Pass the turn. Hopefully no significant disruption from our opponent. Getting rid of our Springleaf Drum would be a pain in the ass, because we really need blue mana right now. But other than that, we're in a pretty good spot. I wonder if this deck can win on turn 2 on the play. I know it can on the draw, from previous experience. Oh shit. That's annoying. So now we definitely need to draw. Ah, fuck, Jesus, really? Alright, we've been disrupted significantly. Hopefully we can draw a land here. Ugh. Draw. We draw a land. Okay. It doesn't make blue mana, but we can get in for 4. We can cycle a Sojourner's Companion for blue mana for the turn after this. We're very top-end heavy in our hand right now. Engineered Explosives makes me think that they don't have Stony Silence or Collector Roof, so that's nice at least. I didn't see either of those cards last game. Opponent has a Wrenn and 6. Okay, well we have 2/2s right now, so at least the ping isn't going to destroy us right now. Yep. Artifact Land Cycle. Let's get Silver Bluff. Yep, yep. We untap. We draw a Silver Bluff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can't cast Sojourner's Companion. We can attack Wrenn and 6. I assume they have removal, otherwise they wouldn't have just played Wrenn and 6 unprotected. But we'll see. Maybe not. Huh. Okay. I'll take it. Wrenn and 6 picked up a land. They haven't put Yorion in their hand yet. So next turn we can play Silver Bluff Bridge. We can play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, a Thought Monitor, and then a Sojourner's Companion. That's probably the plan. I wonder if they brought in any rats. We've seen Engineered Explosives both Game 2 and Game 3, so I think they have like 3 of these probably. Opponent has an Acidic Slime. Wonder what they'll go after with that. Probably Thought Monitor, if I had to guess. Maybe Blinkmoth Nexus, though. Either way, we can at least play Thought Monitor next turn. Hits Blinkmoth Nexus. That's a little rude. Do I want to cycle Sojourner's Companion? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll still be able to cast Thought Monitor. I think it's worth keeping Sojourner's Companion just as a 4/4. And something we can play if we draw a free artifact with Thought Monitor. Okay, untap. I don't think they're playing Wraths because of the density of creatures that they have. Or at least it'd be interesting if they were. They might be playing like Settle the Wreckage or something. Let's play Thought Monitor. We did draw a free artifact. So we can play, not that, we can play Sojourner's Companion. Attack for 4, offer them the trade with Acidic Slime because I'd rather that not be on the board where they can possibly blink it or some shit. But I'm also fine with just getting in for 4 damage, of course. Alright. We pass the turn. We have a Thought Monitor we can play next turn. Hopefully we can draw something good, but we've been able to refuel our hand a few times now. And we have a decently scary board, but I assume that they have something good in their hand. Depending on what's in our opponent's hand, if we just go like land, Thought Monitor, and then draw Cranial Plating, we might just be able to win immediately. Opponent has a Fury, and they're actually casting it too. Kills both the Thought Monitors. Okay, that's reasonable. So we don't want to attack in with Frogmite anymore. We untap. Draw Treasure Vault. Cast Thought Monitor. See what we get. Ugh. All the lands. I think I still attack in with Sojourner's Companion because he can block it with Acidic Slime or Fury to kill it, but I would rather have at least one of those off the board before he starts doing Yorion loops. Trades Acidic Slime. I'm okay with that. Play Springleaf Drum, pass the turn. We can pressure our opponent with Thought Monitor still. They can jump block at least once with Birds of Paradise. But if we randomly get Cranial Plating, we're in a great spot again. Opponent plays Astral Drift. Yikes. Okay, so they're probably going to be able to get another Fury trigger, which is concerning. Do I just block the Fury a bunch? I wonder. If I don't block the Fury, I take 6 and they kill 2 of my guys. I'm going to try blocking the Fury. I think that he's just going to be able to save it with Astral Drift, but I'm curious. Because if I can get that off the board, I'm at least happy about that. First strike damage. Okay, he's blinking after first strike. Ugh, alright. That sucks, but it's fine. We're very flooded anyway, so we need the right chain of draws no matter what to actually get out of this. This deck is really cool though. I think I might do a video of my interpretation of an Astral Drift deck. Maybe a more budget friendly of it with less of the free elementals or something like that. Let's see. We draw cranial plating. Ugh. Alright. Play Glimmer Void past the turn. I'd rather not give them the option to blow up cranial plating before I even have a creature I could possibly swing in with. Our opponent's going to be able to kill us pretty quickly though because of the 6 damage coming in from Fury each turn, at the very least. What the fuck is this? What in the shit? Well, I've never seen that card before. Jesus God. Huh. I guess that's spicy. I don't really know what to... I don't know what to think. I'm confused. Okay. Pass the turn. We draw a Thoughtcast. We drew a Thoughtcast, rather. I might be able to at least put some blockers on the board, but I have to do it right now. We're at 4. Draw. Mistfall Bridge. Alright, that does it. Well, that's a really interesting deck our opponent's playing. So GG's to them for an interesting deck idea. And I will see you in game 2. Alright, round 2 with Affinity. Dirty Jegantha Affinity. Silver Bluff Bridge, Darksteel Citadel, Ornithopter, Frogmite, Thoughtcast. Decent turn 2. Not super aggressive, but we have a lot of redraws in this hand, so I guess I keep it. Seems fine. What is our opponent playing? Our opponent is not playing a companion deck. Opponent plays an island. Looks like they've got a cool island from, what's this, Onslaught? Yeah, Onslaught. We draw yet another Thoughtcast. Okay. Well, opponent said basic island go. I'm not certain what they're playing. They didn't cast a cantrip. They play Fiery Islet. Is this a storm deck? It's a Merfolk deck that started weird. Okay. No turn 1 play from Merfolk. That seems kind of odd. But I'll take it. Thoughtcast, drew Thought Monitor, Mistfall Bridge. Okay. Opponent plays another Master of the Pearl Trident. Okay. I'll take 3. I'd like to draw a Springleaf draw. Seems like it would be a good investment. Draw. Frogmite. That's not bad. Let's cast Frogmite. Let's play a tapped Mistfall Bridge so I can get blue mana from it later. Cast a Thought Monitor. I love this chain in particular. If you have 6 artifacts in play, you can play Thought Monitor discounted all the way down to 1, which is as far as it's going to go. And then once that resolves, you can play Mirror Enforcer or Sojourner's Companion for free. So like the way that this deck chains together. So sexy. Gonna go ahead and hit always yield to that. If we draw a Springleaf Drum here, we can go in with another Thought Monitor too. That'd be nice. We did not get that, but we did draw a Galv Blast. And a Treasure Vault that in theory could give us more colored mana if we're in a pinch, but I doubt that we're going to do that. I'm not attacking with our Frogmite into this 3/3, and I don't really feel like just sending a message with Ornithopter, so I will pass. We may wind up using the Treasure Vault to make red mana. If our opponent, like, Spreading Seas our red source and we don't get another one. Because I'd like to get at least one of these lords off the board. Soon-ish. Interesting, our opponent didn't want to clone their master. Tide Shaper probably hits the red source. Hits the black source. Interesting. Hits us for 3, that's fine. I think, Alright, I'm gonna pass. Cast a Memnite. Cast a Thought Monitor. Emery Cranial Plating. Interesting. I can play Cranial Plating. There's a decent chance they have some way to deal with that. Let's play Treasure Vault. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Go to combat. Attack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I just have to hit them with Thought Monitor now and then something with a Cranial Plating on it. And then I will have won the game. I think the line I'm going to try to pull off is ideally opponent goes to combat. We Galv Blast the Tide Shaper. They play Lord of Atlantis. Okay, so I have to Galv Blast it now. And hope that they don't have a counterspell. Alright, if they have a counterspell, I die, but we might be in a good spot. We might be able to win if they don't have a counterspell right here. They have 2 cards in hand. They have enough mana that they could just force it. Alright, it's down. Let's see if they have another Tide Shaper. But we're at least not dying right now because these are just 4/4s. And they don't have Landwalk. Opponent. Glasspool Mimic has another Lord, hits us for 10. And we live. They have 1 card in hand, even if it's a force, they can't cast it. I'm going to chump one of these for good measure, just in case. And then I'm going to attack him for 1,000,000 with a Cranial Plating. Could have even played a second Cranial Plating if we wanted. God. Could have played 1,000,000 Cranial Platings if we had the time and the mana. Play Cranial Plating. And let's get in. All right, easy peasy. What do we want to bring in, if anything? We We don't have a lot of good sideboard cards. Shadow Spear seems decent, I guess. Pithing Needle might be good. Welding Jar definitely doesn't seem right. Maybe I bring in Pithing Needle so I can needle... Maybe I bring in Pithing Needle so I can needle either Ether Vial or their draw lands. Doesn't seem that great though. Could also bring in Metallic Rebuke maybe, but they're probably playing... Let's cut one Welding Jar. I want to cut the other one, but I don't know what for yet. Maybe just Metallic Rebuke. They probably have Hurkyl's Recalls, so I need Metallic Rebukes, now that I think about it. Cut a Mirror Enforcer, cut... They probably don't have removal for Emery, so it seems fine. Let's cut a Nettle Cyst, bring in the third Metallic Rebuke. Yeah, they'd almost definitely have at least like 2 Hurkyl's Recalls, actually, so... I'm glad I thought of that. I remember seeing the Hurkyl's Recalls when I was playing Lantern. And this deck gets possibly even more blown out by it, since we have so many artifact lands. We don't have an artifact land in this hand, but we have Springleaf Drum, Mimnite, and Shadow Spear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We could land cycle Sojourner's Companion if we need to. I think I just keep it. We're only like 1 cheap artifact away from being able to play our 7 drops on turn 2. Thought Monitor is not a cheap artifact. What the fuck, deck? Springleaf Drum. Gonna go ahead and cast Memnite and Shadow Spear in hopes that we draw a decent engine piece and are able to keep rolling next turn, but we'll see. Might just cycle Sojourner's Companion. Doesn't feel great because I'd really like to Shadow Spear up the Sojourner's Companion so I can get some lifelink on. Oh my god, what the fuck? Alright. Artifact land cycle. Definitely artifact land cycling now that I have 4 7 drops in my hand deck. Let's get Silver Bluff Bridge, put it into play tapped. Pass the turn. Opponent. Merfolk Trickster. Very medium. At least it can't stop Thought Monitor triggers, I guess. Lord of Atlantis, okay. Well, we don't have an island yet, but we also don't have any blockers, so... Basically just a Lord. It's kind of cool that, at least lately, I've been seeing more Merfolk. I don't know if it's trending up in general, but the Merfolk deck is pretty cool. Alright, how many artifacts do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. So these cost 3 currently. If I play Cranial Plating, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 artifacts, 6, 7. So in theory, I can go Cranial Plating, Thought Monitor. I could also go 1, 2, 3, cast a Thought Monitor, draw some cards if I get free artifacts. Play another Thought Monitor. I think that's a better plan. Because I don't want them to know about Cranial Plating until it's killing them. At least ideally. Opponent plays Subtlety, what the hell? Okay. Well... I think because I have the 2 other Thought Monitors, I just put it on the bottom. That pretty clearly signals to him that I have more Thought Monitors in my hand. But Thought Monitor just doesn't seem like the best draw right now. Even though usually it's great. But we're facing down a bunch of Lords. Our opponent's probably going to be empty-handed in a second. Yeah, okay, they have a million Lords. We can block them, but we don't have good blockers right now. Maybe I just cranial plating up Memnite. I'm at 8. So I have to block at least 3 of his creatures, or gain a shit ton of life. We draw cranial plating. Ugh. I don't like this. Thought Monitor. Hopefully we can get some free artifacts off of this. Darksteel Citadel. I can Shadow Spear Thought Monitor, and then I'm dead. I can cast another Thought Monitor and hope that I get exactly 2 free-to-play artifacts off of it. Let's see what we get. Mirror Enforcer. Springleaf Drum. Okay, I can block 3 things now, so I might not be dead. Our opponent is empty-handed right now. If they Hercules Recall us, we're 100% dead. We're like dead 1,000,000%. But if I can block and live, I have enough mana to play Cranial Plating, attach it to Thought Monitor, and Shadow Spear up Thought Monitor. Opponent's looking for a way to gain unblockable. Let's see if they have it. It looks like they don't. Okay. Let's kill you, block you, block you. No whammies? Okay, no whammies. We're still currently not dead. Our opponent has something to play though, which could be terrible for us, depending. If it's removal for Thought Monitor, it's pretty terrible for us. It's a Chalice on 1. Hooray, we don't care about Chalice on 1. Alright. How big does Cranial Plating make our guy? It's going to go up to 11 power. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, go to combat. Alright, we're at 15. Our opponent needs something else again. And we got it! Awesome! That one was definitely sketchy for a while, especially with the amount of Thought Monitors and whatnot we had in our hand, but good old Cranial Plating plus lifelink. Alright, round 3 of our Modern Affinity League with Dirty Dirty Companions. Reveal Jegantha. This hand doesn't seem great, but it doesn't seem like it's worth mulliganing necessarily. It has enough affinity that if we draw a Thought Monitor or Thought Cast, we can play it pretty easily. I think we keep it. It could be the case that this hand just doesn't have enough of a payoff consistently, but let's play Silver Bluff Bridge past the turn. Next turn we can play most of our hand. Opponent has an Affectionate Endrick as their avatar, so Seachrome Coast, Relic of Progenitus, no companions. What deck is this? I wonder. Maybe it's some sort of Thopter Sword deck? Perhaps? Well, we play our hand. Hopefully we draw something good soon. Opponent plays Stoneforge Mystic. Okay. What did they reveal with Stoneforge? I assume Kaldra complete. Yep, Kaldra. Okay, well, I don't want to get hit with a Kaldra anytime soon, so let's kill Stoneforge. Untap. Draw Memnite. Not very exciting. Well, we hit our opponent for 5 and play Memnite this turn. Attack, attack. Yep. Cast Memnite. Pass the turn. Hopefully we draw one of our Thoughtcast effects soon. Opponent plays Urza's Saga. Okay. So it looks like they are a non-Yorion version of the blue-white, like artifact mid-range type of deck. Untap. We draw Frogmite. Okay. Let's play Blinkmoth Nexus. Or activate it, rather. Let's attack, 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 attack. Okay. Yup. Yup. Opponent goes to 9, we cast a Frogmite, pass the turn. Opponent's got a Metallic Rebuke. We will not pay for the Metallic Rebuke, as we cannot. Our opponent's not doing all that much. It's hard to tell whether we're in a good spot or not, because I don't really know what to expect. Portable Hole probably gets Memnite, I assume. Yep. So that Portable Hole doesn't really change our combat math at all. We draw. Spire of Industry. Alright, let's animate. Blinkmoth Nexus. Let's attack for 5. Actually, opponent can play... Yeah, let's attack with all of them. We can Welding Jar whichever one gets blocked by the construct. I don't imagine they have all that much destruction effects. All that many destruction effects, I suppose. Opponent goes to 6. Spire of Industry, pass the turn. Alright, well we have 3 lands. So our current hope is our opponent dirtles a little bit longer. We untap and draw a Cranial Plating, and hopefully they don't have the Metallic Rebuke for it. I think that's currently the plan. We can keep hitting them with Blinkmoth Nexus at least, but it's not much of a clock by itself. Also, if we draw... Yikes. So opponent can... Yeah, opponent hits us for 6, gain 6, we won't block. That complicates things. For sure. We untap. We draw an island. Not very exciting. Alright, well, I'm gonna attack for 1. Play the land, pass the turn. I don't think we have a way to get back in this now since they're getting a second hit in with us. But oh well. At least we didn't get Cauldred. What else do they have to get with Stoneforge Mystic? I assume they have, like, probably Sword of Fire and Ice and stuff. Maybe Lightning Greaves. Maybe Cranial Plating also in the deck. Gets a Sword of the Meek. So they are playing Thopter Sword. Okay. How do I want to sideboard against this deck? Pithing Needle seems pretty good. Wear Tear seems pretty good. Etch Champion, maybe. Shadow Spear seems like it could be pretty good if they're going to make a bunch of Thopter tokens anyway. Damping Sphere doesn't do much. Grafdigger's Cage doesn't do much. Tormod's Crypt, not that great. It can interrupt the Sword of the Meat combo, but not really. It's pretty easy to play around. Alright, we concede. Maybe Metallic Rebukes come in. Metallic Rebuke, Wear Tear, Pithing Needles, and then maybe Shadow Spear, maybe Etch Champion, depending. Because Etch Champion is usually good against mid-rangey type of decks. Shadow Spear is good against the tokens. Welding Jar doesn't seem very good. I think we can safely cut those. I think we're definitely bringing in Pithing Needle because it stops both Thopter Sword, it's Urza Saga, and Stoneforge Mystic. Wear Tear seems really good. Galv Blast seems not very good. I think I'd rather have Metallic Rebukes. Cut at least one Mirror Enforcer. I do think I want the Shadow Spear, and I think I just cut. I'm between either cutting Nettle Cyst or another Mirror Enforcer. Nettle Cyst is a decent way for us to combat their very large, like, construct tokens. I think I definitely want to keep Emery in, because Emery seems like good late gamey value. Yeah, I think I want to go down one more Mirror Enforcer since 4/4s don't seem that great. Alright, well, if the hand we kept was a little bit faster, I think we would have been able to get there last game. Because we got pretty close. We got them down to 5 at one point. Jegantha, yep. We've got Pithing Needle, Thoughtcast, Thought Monitor, and Mirror Enforcer. So this hand's not super fast, at least currently, but it has a lot of redraw effects. I think I'll keep it. I don't think it's worth mulliganing at the very least. But we'll see. Opponent mulligans to 6. Yeah, it's interesting to see this deck without the Yorion Companion. Because I definitely at least thought that that was standard. I'm just going to play a tap Silver Bluff Bridge on turn 1, and I'm going to Pithing Needle whatever I think is more appropriate. Depending on if they play Urza Saga or Thopter Foundry first. Esper Sentinel, okay. Let's play Silver Bluff Bridge past the turn. Opponent plays Ingenious Smith. Okay. More of a traditional beatdown this time. They have a Nettle Cyst in their deck too, and they revealed it. Yep. We draw Frogmite. Okay. Well, they seem pretty far away from having Thopter Sword assembled. So I think current plan is I'll let them draw a card with Esper Sentinel so I can Thoughtcast this turn. Play Pithing Needle. Name Urza Saga. Animate Blinkmoth Nexus. Cast a Frogmite for free. Cast a Thoughtcast. Draw 2. Got an Emery and a Darksteel Citadel. Okay. I'm curious if they have appropriate removal for Emery or not. They did have Thopter Foundry. That's annoying. So we're going to need to deal with that. Darksteel Citadel. We drew a cranial plating. How much is Thought Monitor? Costs 2. We can animate Blinkmoth Nexus, cast a Thought Monitor. Yep. Cast a Mirror Enforcer. We did draw Metallic Rebuke. We can either play Metallic Rebuke or Thoughtcast or Emery, but we can't do all of them, unfortunately. I think I'd rather get Emery into play. Go to combat. Attack, attack. We milled a Frogmite, a Memnite, a Darksteel Citadel, and a Springleaf Drum with Emery, so no big payoffs, but at least a couple things. Oh shit. Opponent plays Urza. Let's see if they have the combo. Alright, well fuck me. We concede. That's unfortunate. For some reason I wasn't thinking about them possibly having Urza combo there, but whatever. Alright, round 4 of Jegantha Affinity. Revealing our companion. Will Jegantha ever be useful? I'm curious. Right now it doesn't seem like it. It feels like whenever we would have the opportunity to pay 3 for a Jegantha and then pay 5 to play it, we've already lost the game. This hand plays essentially a Guild Gate on turn 1, but after that it has a decent chance to do stuff. Let's keep it. Depends on if our opponent's able to Thoughtcast us, Thoughtseize us or something, but our opponent's playing a Lurrus deck, so I don't want to run out Memnite into likely removal. Blood Crypt, Ragavan. Okay. None of those things are Thoughtcasts. Or are Thoughtseizes, rather. Some kind of thought. Yield to Mitra's Bubble, they get to see what we draw. It's a Thoughtcast. Springleaf Drum, Memnite, Springleaf Drum, Frogmite. Can't play Thought Monitor, but we can play Thoughtcast. Five, 6. Sojourner's Companion. Alright, pass the turn. Decent turn, too. Not as good as it could have been if we played Thought Monitor, but oh well. If only Seed of the Synod was in the format. But alas. Opponent attacks for 2. We will block. He probably has an Unholy Heat that he's going to cash in to kill Sojourner's Companion, but still worth it to get the monkey off the board. Yeah, there's Unholy Heat. We draw a Thoughtcast. Okay. Well, let's play Thought Monitor. See what we get. Always yield. More Thoughtcasts, interesting. Play a Thoughtcast. Play a Frogmite. Play a Mirror Enforcer. Play a Thoughtcast. Play a Memnite. Play a Springleaf Drum. Pass the turn. Our opponent's forced to attack with Dragon Rage Chandler, so we get to clap in with everything else. Ideally, depending on if they have some kind of blockers. Looks like they're not playing a blocker right now. since they're playing Expressive Iteration. Although they might have another DRC or a Ragavan or something they can play. We'll see. Playing a lot of Thoughtcasts. Really good way to make up for our opponent playing a Lurrus deck. Because they have not even got the Lurrus yet. Opponent plays Death Shadow, that's fine. It's a 2/2. We will not block DRC. Come on, Cranial Plating. It's a Thoughtcast. That could still be a Cranial Plating. Alright, well. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, our opponent's dead as shit. Okay. Galv Blast your Shadow. Go to combat. Yep. Hooray! All you have to do is be able to play all of your Thoughtcasts starting on turn 2. And also draw... I think we drew all 4 of the Thoughtcasts. And then a Thought Monitor. Alright, let's see. Tormod's Crypt in... Welding Jar seems fine. Cut a Mirror Enforcer, cut... Maybe a Nettle Cyst. Add an Etch Champion, cut... I think Emery, since they have plenty of removal. And I kind of want Shadow Spear too. Maybe it's not necessary though. Yeah, I'm not going to have it for now. Just try it like this. So we're cutting Nettle Cyst, Mirror Enforcer, Emery for Etch Champion, Tormod's Crypt, Tormod's Crypt. Reveal Jegantha. This hand goes... It plays a lot of stuff very quickly, and it has a Thought Monitor, which is probably what gets Thoughtseized, if they Thoughtseize us. We'll keep it. If we draw another cheap artifact, we're definitely in business. If we draw an artifact land, we're in good shape too. If we draw a Darksteel Citadel, we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can almost play Thought Monitor on 1. Island, Springleaf Drum, Memnite. We can definitely play Thoughtcast on 1. Tormod's Crypt. No, we can't. Lame. Okay, cast Frogmite. Pass the turn. So our opponent has to be able to Thoughtseize us twice to get Thought Monitor and Thoughtcast out of our hand at this point. And Tormod's Crypt is decent interaction with DRC. Drawn in the lock, target Memnite. Yeah, okay. It does make our thoughts a bit harder to cast, but we'll see what we draw. Draw Springleaf Drum. Alright, let's cast Springleaf Drum. Let's Thoughtcast. Hopefully we get an artifact land or something. We got a Welding Jar. We'll play Welding Jar. Pass the turn. We can play Thought Monitor next turn, it looks like. Again, depending on interaction. Drown in the Lock is not very good against Affinity. That's very nice. We have like a startling lack of actual lands. We just have a lot of Springleaf Drums in one island. So that's not the best. But we can tap, Thought Monitor, draw 2 cards, and then also use Thought Monitor to tap Springleaf Drum for a mana. K Command. That's annoying. That's really annoying, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4. So Tormod's Crypt is going no matter what. I can Welding Jar to keep Frogmite alive. I think that's probably worth it. Welding Jar, Frogmite. Let them Surveil. and then exile their graveyard with Tormod's Crypt. Well, that got us off of lots of artifacts. Spire Bluff Bridge, okay. 4, 5, 6. We can't cast Thought Monitor because it costs 3, but we can play Cranial Plating. Is that something at least? Pass the turn. See what our opponent's got. Expressive Iteration. That's good news. Means they're at least looking for something instead of immediately having more action. Mishra's Bauble. And DRC. Okay. It looks like our opponent's probably not interacting with our board this turn, which means we should get Thought Monitor down. Opponent attacks for 3, that's fine. Opponent draws a card with Mishra's Bauble, we draw Galv Blast. Okay. Thought Monitor costs 2 currently. Let's Cranial Plating. Cast a Thought Monitor for 1, see what we get. Darksteel Citadel Cranial Plating. Okay. Equip up the Thought. Pass the turn. Our opponent has to attack with the DRCs, so they need removal. Otherwise they're just going to die. Or they need another blocker. Expressive Iteration, okay. Well, that makes me think. So they missed a land drop last turn, so they need a land drop and 2 1-mana removal spells to be able to stay alive here. Or a land drop, a removal spell, and a blocker would also... Well, a blocker would not do it because of Galv Blast, but they think that a blocker would do it currently. Double Cranial Plating, real good. Opponent plays a land. Has a removal spell. Okay. Let's produce a red. Probably just going to Galv Blast on our turn, though. But we'll see. Mishra's Baubles us. We lose the mana, that's fine. Attacks us for 6, we go to 10. Opponent keeps the land up, but doesn't play a blocker. Makes me think they have removal. We'll see. Because we're going to try to attack for lethal here. Go to combat. Yup. Yup. What's our opponent got? Cracked Scalding Tarn. Shocks and Blood Crypt looks like a Fatal Push. Unholy Heat. Okay. We will let them surveil and then kill a DRC. So now we need threats. If we draw Thought Monitor or Thoughtcast and are able to refuel with a couple creatures, that puts us in a decent spot, but we're dead in a couple turns to this Dragon Rage Channeler. They also have a Death Shadow. Okay. Hits us for 3. We go to 7. We draw. Welding Jar. Pass the turn. We'll see if we die to Death Shadow here. Okay, opponent has dressed down. We concede. What do I want to change? I think I want to have a little bit more in the way of threats. So I think I'm going to cut one welding jar and add in, well, doesn't actually help that much. Yeah, I think I'll just run it back how it was. Welding jar is decent against them. It's not the best because they have usually like 1 or 2 copies of Terminate that can get through, but it can at least save our things from removal most of the time. Reveal Jegantha. Oh yeah, I had a Jegantha I could put in my hand. God damn it. Still couldn't have cast it, but... hand seems decent. It's got Cranial Plating as a threat. It's got a couple low mana cost artifacts. It's got a Thought Monitor to refuel. And Tormod's Crypt can help interact. Seems like it has the pieces we want. Let's go... Treasure Vault, pass. Opponent. Shocks in Blood Crypt, plays DRC. Okay. Plays Mishra's Bauble. Okay. 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 Mishra's Baubles us. We draw a Thought Monitor. Okay, so we have a couple of those. Let's go Blinkmoth Nexus. Cranial Plating. Pass the turn. No sense in letting them know that we can play Thought Monitor soon. Draw some cards with Mishra's Baubles. Opponent. Looks like they have another creature to play. Has another DRC. Okay. We take one. We draw an Ornithopter. Tormod's Crypt. Memnite, Ornithopter, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Unholy Heat's Memnite. That's fine. We can still cast Thought Monitor. Because with Blinkmoth Nexus animated, we have 5 artifacts. Glimmer Void, Thought Monitor, draw some cards. Okay. We drew Springleaf Drum, Thoughtcast. That's pretty good news. Alright, we can't do anything else this turn, but we have a lot of card draw for next turn again. Let's see what our opponent can do. Springleaf Drum also means that we have double blue mana. Kolaghan's Command kills Cranial Plating Thought Monitor. Okay. That hurts, but it's not the worst since we have redraws. hits us for 6. We take it. Yep. Opponent passes. Okay. We draw Darksteel Citadel. Let's cast Springleaf Drum. Play Darksteel Citadel. Play Thought Monitor. Draw 2. Wow. Okay. Play Thought Monitor. Draw 2. Play Frogmite. Pass the turn. Pretty good turn. Opponent plays Ragavan. Has 2 cards in hand. They attack in with DRCs. We can try to kill at least one of them by shrinking them with Tormod's Crypt. They have 2 cards in hand, so they probably have like 1 piece of removal, if I had to guess. I'm gonna double block one of them just to make sure. Opponent fetches. Plays Dress Down. Alright. If Dress Down resolves, they're definitely 1/1s. I guess they're just getting the Surveil on. That's fine. Alright, opponent concedes. Good trade. Alright, round 5 against Curryvore. Awesome username. Reveal Jegantha. Will I ever use Jegantha? We will see. Seems like even when I can use Jegantha, I forget about it or it isn't that important. This hand plays Frogmite on turn 1, Thoughtcast on turn 2, or Cranial Plating and equip it on turn 2. This hand seems pretty good. We'll keep. Opponent's playing a Yorion deck. Spooky. Right now I'm leaning towards play these on turn 1. Turn 2, just Cranial Plating, get in with it, and then after that I can Thoughtcast and try to establish a board. But we'll see if we draw anything else we can play, because I might be able to Thoughtcast on turn 1 if we draw another free artifact. And then that makes the decision making much easier. It's a wonderful feeling playing Affinity that's as juiced up as the current version of it, and not having to worry about, Thought Monitor, not having to worry about Stony Silence all that much, because you just straight up lose to it, but not that many people are playing it right now. Or at least the people that are sometimes are playing like 80 card decks and then can't find their sideboard cards because they're so freaking greedy. Alright. 3 spells on turn 1, pass the turn. Not the best I've done, but pretty good. Opponent gets Rogran Triumph. Plays Wall of Omens. What will I do? So I can go Cranial Plating, Thought Monitor, see what we draw, cast a Mirror Enforcer, cast a Memnite, attack for 2 to send the message. Alright, pass the turn. I don't expect our opponent's going to be able to wrap the board on turn 3. We'll see if they surprise me. There's a decent chance they'll have a Solitude or some other piece removal, so they're not necessarily getting hit by Cranial Plating this turn. Opponent plays Field of Ruin. Opponent. Spreading Seas their Field of Ruin. Weird. We draw a Thought Monitor. Let's go. Thought Monitor. I'll tap Thopter for it. Blue source, please. Treasure Vault. Alright, I'm not going to Thought Cast again this turn. Cranial Plating up. The Thought Monitor that can attack. We'll see if they have a Solitude. They do not. At least not right now. Attack, 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 attack. What's our opponent got? Opponent goes to 1. Alright. Huh. Alright, no removal of that game. We didn't see much of what our opponent's playing, but it looks like they're playing blue-white, maybe Jeskai with Yorion. Probably just like a blue-white blink style deck. The red splash is probably just for making Prismatic End a little bit better, I would assume. I think we bring in all the Metallic Rebukes and the Etch Champion. I don't necessarily think that we need any of these other things. We can cut the Galv Blasts. We can cut like one Welding Jar. Because they're probably exiling most things. They have some Wraths, I bet, but we'll see. Grafdigger's Cage, not really worth it. Pithing Needle, not really worth it. Shadow Spear, not really worth it. Damping Sphere, not really worth it. Tormod's Crypt, not really worth it. I think this is fine. I feel like we're a little top heavy right now, since we didn't cut any Mirror Enforcers or Nettle Cyst or anything, but the Galv Blast doesn't seem ideal. And the counterspells and stuff I brought in seem really good. This hand is really, like, ridiculously slow. I can go Spire of Industry, Ornithopter, and then I just can't do anything. I have to hope to draw things, I have to mulligan. This hand is better. Let's get rid of a... Let's get rid of a land. We'll get rid of Spire of Industry. Because I can turn Sojourner's Companion into a land if I'm in a pinch. I probably should have brought in Wear Tear now that I think about it. Because there's a non-zero chance that they're playing. That they're playing some sort of Stony Silence effect, but we'll see. They are playing 80 cards, they might just not draw it. We draw Spire Bluff Bridge. Okay. Let's play Memnite. That way we have Metallic Rebuke up. Pass the turn. Still planning on cycling away Sojourner's Companion, I think. Because now I can play Etch Champion and keep up a counterspell. Yeah, let's Artifact Land cycle. Get a Darksteel Citadel. Untap. We draw Springleaf Drum. Play Darksteel Citadel, play Springleaf Drum. Play... I can play Mirror Enforcer, but then I can't leave up Metallic Rebuke anymore. I think I just attack for 1 with Memnite and see what happens. I don't want to put my shields down where I don't have Metallic Rebuke up and then have them land into Fairy, essentially making our Metallic Rebuke not worth anything. It seems like a bad deal. Alright, our opponent Field of Ruined us. We'll pass the turn. What do they got? Nothing and pass. Okay. Let's cast a Welding Jar. Play a Silver Bluff Bridge. How much is Mirror Enforcer? 1. Go to combat. Attack for 1. Cast Mirror Enforcer. Pass the turn. See what our opponent's got. Now if they have a Supreme Verdict, we can... Okay, they Archmage Charm to draw 2, that's fine. I think I'm just going to use the Metallic Rebuke on either something that they're using to counter our things or something that actually affects the board. I'm another C, that's fine. Metallic Rebuke is really nice against Yorion. I feel like I've said this before, but because in particular Yorion costs so much mana, and also with the new companion rule, you can see when it goes into their hand and they're planning on playing it. It's just much easier to deal with. Alright, let's go ahead and get Etch Champion down. Our opponent played a main phase Omen of the Sea and still didn't have a land to play. Attack for 5. Yup. Yup. Pass the turn. Not playing Springleaf Drum because I want to be able to use Welding Jar and then also Metallic Rebuke afterward. Supreme Verdict. Let's keep our Etch Champion around. Goodbye, Mirror Enforcer and Memnite, you'll be missed. But I like the idea of forcing them to use more Wraths. Ooh, Thought Monitor. Play Springleaf Drum. Play Thought Monitor. See if we draw Cranial Plating here, that'd be nice. We do not, but we do draw more Thought Monitors. Thought Monitor, draw. Thought Cast, draw. Thought cast, draw. Glimmer Void. I'm going to leave the big boys because he's probably going to want to Wrath now. And I'm just going to play enough that I can Metallic Rebuke again. Opponent goes to 11. Pass the turn. Opponent has something to play. Another Supreme Verdict. I'm a genius. We draw. Cranial Plating. Okay, well, not necessarily when we wanted the Cranial Plating, but it's happening. Tap, tap, play Mirror Enforcer. Play Sojourner's Companion. He might have another Wrath, but I kind of doubt that he has 3 to play in a row. We'll see. It's more likely that he has spot removal that I can't counter with Metallic Rebuke. Opponent passes. They did not have a Wrath this turn. I guess I go for the kill with Cranial Plating, right? Because I can keep up Metallic Rebuke still. I can even... Yeah, we're countering that. You kidding me? Pop. 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 No. Play Misfault Bridge. We can play Cranial Plating and equip, and then we also have enough mana, enough black mana in particular, that we can instant speed equip to whichever one doesn't get solituded. Alright, and opponent concedes. Beautiful. Alright, we finished 3-2, which I think is fine. I'm still not honestly sold on Jegantha. Like, I know that I've seen some games where it would be useful, but it just... I don't know if it's worth the sideboard slot. Because I do sort of want to experiment with, like, maybe a 4th Metallic Rebuke, maybe a Cursed Totem to deal with the Yawgmoth deck, something like that. Let's see what we got in the treasure chest. Yep. Mausoleum Wanderer. That card's playable. And 10 play points. Alright, I'll see you in the next one.
Hey everyone, Shoe Nice again. Well, basically, go subscribe to Tezzey's YouTube channel. And for those who made it to the end of the video, thank you.